This is how we play, the Cronulla Sharks NRLW podcast, brought to you by Quest Apartment Hotels. The Cronulla Sharks NRLW team are more than footballers. They're teachers, tradies, students, coaches, mums, mentors. Women who live double lives in pursuit of the game they love. By day they clock in, and by night they suit up. Join us in celebrating the strength, determination and resilience of our Sharks NRLW superheroes. It's not just about what they do on the field, it's about everything they do off it to keep the dream alive. Our women play it their way. Hey there, welcome. This is how we play, the Cronulla Sharks NRLW podcast, brought to you by Quest Apartment Hotels. My name's Sam Shinazzi. I love the Cronulla Sharks, and I'm here to co-host with our favourite fullback. Don't tell Will Kennedy. Don't tell Liam Ison. I am here with my co-host, or I'm her co-host, Miss Jada Taylor, birthday girl from last week.
I know, I was hoping for a win as well, but anyways, we won't go there. I like that. Favourite NRLW fullback.
Now, we are here not to talk about you as such. You will intertwine in this episode, but we are here to talk about your teammate, one of my favourite NRLW players. She has been at the Sharks since 2023, I'm led to believe, and is a vital part of our crew. Let's just get straight to it. Rhiannon Byers, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
I want to start with breaking news, and it sort of involves both of you and our awesome club. Our very good friend Jada Taylor has been nominated for the 2026 Veronica White Medal. So congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. I'm sitting here with the 2025 winner of the award, so it's nice to be nominated. Been nominated once before as well, back in 2023, and it's an honour.
Yeah, so Rhiannon, let's get straight to that. What does it mean to you? Tell us what it entails for people who don't know maybe what goes on in that world. What is the Veronica White Medal, and how did you get involved? And tell us everything.
Yeah, so the Veronica White Medal is a community award. It's all for all the nominees. The club can put in one person to nominate, and Jada is nominated this year, which is awesome. I was nominated last year. But then it's up to the community to vote for who they would like to be in the top three. Every nominee will get $1,000 to the local rugby league club. And then once you're in the top three, they will then go into a judge panel. And then once you're in the judge panel, if you win, you get $2,000 goes back to your junior rugby league club. And then the other $2,000 goes to an organisation that you would like to donate to. So last year I donated to Find Your Feet, and my local rugby league club is Warrior Wombats. So yeah, they finally got some new jerseys and fixed up their change rooms and stuff. So yeah, that money went a long way, which is cool. Jada's nominated this year, so...
go vote for me. Thank you.
Yeah, so go vote for sister girl over there. But no, we were just saying, like you were just saying then before, like it's just your job, but... I think it's more than that. Like you're closing the gap for young Indigenous kids here in the Sutherland Shire, and we don't talk a lot about our health. It's a massive topic that goes sort of under the radar, and yeah, I think the work that you're doing here in the Shire is definitely making an impact. Because I see kids walking around with their little Deadly Choice shirts, and it's mad to see. So yeah, don't ever think that it's just a job. It's actually more than that.
So Rhiannon, with you, tell us about your background and what you do that got you nominated.
Yeah, so I work with Cronulla Aboriginal Corporation. I'm the youth coordinator, so I sort of work in children's and family support with, like, funded through DCJ, and then with NRLW we do the Aboriginal youth mentoring. I'm in 21 high schools here in the Shire. I deal with 391 students, and I mentor them once a week, fortnightly, depending on the school and their availability. But yeah, I go there for an hour, and then we discuss obviously health, mental health, physical health, and then just sort of like their connections with mob. We've got a lot of kids obviously here in the Shire that are sort of disconnected through their culture. So reconnecting them in any way, shape or form is massive impact. And we've noticed that, our little dance group that we had that performed at the NRLW and the community day, a lot of those kids actually don't know where they're from, and they know that they're Indigenous, and they can feel that connection. They're still trying to find those pieces, and that's sort of like my job is just to reconnect them and give them that cultural safety.
Do you have a similar job, Jada? Like, we've spoken a bit about what you do, but it sounds very similar.
Yeah, similar in some ways. I think obviously Deadly Choices, they have the program, but not sort of the connection to the local area and those sorts of things. So that sort of falls on me in what schools I go to, and I guess I have a little bit of freedom around that. But yeah, ours is very based around healthy lifestyles and those sorts of things. And whereas Rhi, she's got the community, I guess, aspects of it as well, where she's you meet with community groups and stuff like that. And I think it's pretty cool that I've got a connection like that in the Shire as well, and we can sort of bounce off each other and go, hey, I don't know anyone to get me these clapsticks sort of for this weekend's gift exchange, and she's all over it. So obviously have a lot to do with planning Indigenous round and stuff, and working in the local community. I lent on her a lot this year to try and get me some kids who could dance and those sorts of things. So it's been pretty mad to bounce off each other.
Now, big 2 weeks, Indigenous rounds over 2 weeks, a lot of awareness. I was down here for what would you call it, Jada? It was the Captain's Run, Deadly Choices.
Yeah, the Community Day. First Nations Community Day.
And that was awesome. There was like hundreds of people here soaking it in. So congrats on that. That was really just well done. Everyone was so happy. But a big 2 weeks for both of you, I guess. Like a focus on your other job, the Cronulla Sharks NRLW, but incorporating your Indigenous history and even your other work. That's a huge 2 weeks for you, right?
Community Day, like you said, that's probably something huge for our area. Again, Reece touched on, how this area can be generally disconnected and those sorts of things. But we also know that a lot of our Indigenous people don't often go and get their health checks at a health service because there's that distrust and sort of things. But when you invite people to come watch the Sharks Captain's Run, everyone wants to turn up. So that's just one way we're trying to close the gap, I guess, to access, to be able to come here and watch footy and go, oh, you know what, I will just get my health check instead of having to go to the doctor. So yeah, I think that's something that we did really well, and really, really proud of the last couple of rounds when we've been able to wear that jersey. But Riri, what does it mean to you? I feel like that was my first time I got to actually play in the jersey. I've been injured every other year, so grateful that I was uninjured this year. But what does it mean to you?
Well, I scored my first ever try for NRLW in the Indigenous jersey in that 2024 year. And yeah, every time I think about the Indigenous jersey, it just gives me goosebumps. Like, so mad to, represent culture, but also just like knowing that our Pacifica sisters too, they're First Nations from their countries as well. And I feel like we talk about our Indigenous culture and that they absorb it like sponges, and they want to learn more. And like last year when we did that weaving thing, like I think a few of the girls ended up out weaving us. Like, it's just, I don't know, like it's just literally, it's so humbling, the Indigenous round. It just makes you recenter yourself and understand why you play football and why you do it, and inspire like new kids that, from the country areas that are, looking at us going like, oh, that's Jada Taylor, that's Rhiannon Byers, like they're from Tamworth, they're from Moree. Like that's what's mad. Like go home and you can have a coffee, and next minute like little Indigenous kids are running up to you and asking for photos. Like that's what's mad.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it.
Super special, and having the role with Deadly Choices, and this year, we have the mini league every year play on Indigenous round, and this year, Grace from Deadly Choices, my boss, she asked me, she said, oh, do you want to put the girls' last names on there? And it sort of threw me a little bit. I was like, oh my God. So it was a nice little surprise for the girls to, have their name on the back of a jersey, at an NRL game where kids want to be you. I think that's so special, and I hope you saw that, Riri, on Instagram.
No, I seen it. I shared it on my story because I was like, what Deadly Choice tagged me in? And then I looked and I was like, oh my God, that's my name on there. I was like, oh, look at that kid go.
So special. And I know you touched on it briefly, Riri, but you're a country kid. It's hard being a country kid, living here, the sacrifices. Everyone talks about sacrifices, and a lot of people make sacrifices to be professional athletes, especially women. But there's extra sacrifices when you're away from home. Just even the ability to get into footy is harder. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
I was born in Moree, grew up in a small town called Pallamellawar. It's probably max like 200 people. Knew everyone in that town, and then I went to school at Warriolda High School, and started my like rugby journey up there. And there was no like pathway programs or nothing. There was literally a regional zone that you put a rugby team in. If you won that, then you would go to CHS state finals. We played everyone around that area, and not many people had a rugby team, so like we would win and we would go to Sydney, and then next we're versing like Hunter Sports High and Hill Sports High and all that type of stuff, and we were like, oh God. But like literally half the time we couldn't even field like a 12-a-side. We ended up like getting a couple of players from like Moree. We had 2 from Inverell, brought them into the team, and it was sort of like a combined Northwest region team underneath the Warrior High School banner. And we won the state championships one time, and it was mad because we versed Hunter Sports High and we beat them. Mind you, we flogged them. We were shocked. Like we literally didn't have all the bells and whistles. We didn't have flash kit. We literally had boys size shorts and like not even women's cut jerseys. They were just massive. Had to tie a little hair tie at the back to make sure that no one could grab your jersey. And yeah, we just played for each other because we knew how close we all were. But then now like seeing the pathway sort of growing a little bit more in the sense for like women back at country towns. Like, you know, they don't necessarily have to drive, 9.5 hours just for one training session and then go back to school. The next day it's now sort of going, they have like a week's camp, say based at Tamworth, and then they'll go from Tamworth into Newcastle and play out in Newcastle there. And that's what's like really cool to see is like it's just starting to grow more and more country kids are striving to be like us. And I like when I think back, it's just like so cool because Jada and I have got a little bit of history. Like when we played Central North together, and she came in for a trial, and
gosh,
there was this
all 40 kilos of me probably, not even 30.
That's dripping wet. And we were playing. We had this fitness session. It was like these 300s. And Jada went out hard and she burnt everyone. And then the coach was like, "You got 4 more to go." And she turned around. She turned around. She just looked at me like, "Oh no!" And I was just like sort of pacing myself, going through it. And she just went hard out first one, and then died in the butt. And then, from that time onwards, I was sort of like, "Nah, this kid's got a bit of bite about her." I sort of said to the coach, because they turned around and said, "Oh, she's too small," and I was like, "Nah, she's not too small. She's a little pit bull. Like, got to give her a chance." And then you got selected, and the next minute, like, you went ahead and you went to New South Wales, and then seeing you play up there, and then, seeing you play, obviously, for the Roosters and getting your first try and stuff like that, that was mad. And I was like, oh, yeah, go JT. I've always been a massive, big support role for you and have always, cheerleader on the sideline, but mad to see, like, us now back in, Cronulla shirts and being together and working in the community and stuff again. Like, we've done it back at home and now we're here, so that's mad.
There's this real connection with the NRLW team, especially this year, with players coming back after 10 years in Madison, and she had that connection with Quincy, and you guys have the connection. All these little connections where you just find yourself in the right place. It's very beautiful.
It is very beautiful. Small world, they say.
Yeah.
No, but it's nice. I think everyone here wants to be here, and I think that it's certainly the vibe that we have at this club. And, not all the bells and whistles, which very much reminds me of home. So, that's why I love this place.
I liked how Rhiannon was talking about you being a little, what did you call her, a pit bull? What did you call
a little pitty.
So Rhiannon doesn't know this, but I've said this in the show that my day job is I work at we'll say a media corporation where I watch football for a living and I do stats and that kind of stuff. And so on the weekend, I was doing your game after the fact, but it's my job to identify who's who and what they're doing and collate it all. And I know who Jada Taylor is. She's my new buddy. We're all good. But every now and then I'd see someone doing maybe first or second hit up, making, 8, 9, 10 meters, just going straight into that line. And I was like, no way that's Jada Taylor. It was Jada Taylor. You're a tough little thing.
No, I think I've changed my game a lot this year. And it's something that I've probably been working on since I came to the Sharks. And Tony was sort of like, the highlights sort of just happen, but it's the work ethic, I think, and the work off the ball and coming out of yardage and all those sort of things that we really, really value. And this year has been a massive emphasis on that's where I want to work on in my game. And it's, I feel a little bit sad at the moment that it just feels like the highlights are going away. But the work and the meters are looking a bit better than previous years. But, I thought you were going to bring up on the weekend how I spat the dummy and I blew up on the big screen and all of a sudden they're doing a slow-mo replay and I was like, oh, gosh.
Rhiannon, on your journey to Cronulla, tell us about how you found yourself here, and I also want to get your first thoughts on you coming to the area and the club and that kind of thing.
I was in the Aussie Sevens in 2018 to 2022, and so I had 2 back surgeries and sort of had a conversation, and they just said to me that I would never make it back to the elite level. Took that as a challenge, and my partner, he's a shy boy, so, you know, I didn't have a job or nothing like that after the Sevens career. So I sort of was like, well, I'll go to the Sharks training. Will was like, we'll come to Harvey Norman's training. Quincy, you know, she works for NRL, so like we might see if she can get a job there. And so I rocked after training, and Quincy's come over with a bubbly smile and introduced herself and that. And as soon as like she did that, I was sort of like, oh yeah, there's like this club's pretty cool. And then Tiana came over, and then Cass, who also experienced being dropped in 2022. We sort of like obviously had that connection as well. And Quincy offered me a job. We did an interview in the car park.
Typical Quincy, nice.
Yeah, and started working for her, doing little casual jobs just as teaching kids how to play rugby league and becoming a student of the game. And then, yeah, Tony sort of said, we'll see how you go with your back and progress from there. And love the Shire, love how it sort of, you know, it's like its own little world. You wouldn't even know you're in Sydney, to be honest. Coming here in the Shire, I'm right across from the beach, so I'll go and have a watch of the beach and watch the sunset and sunrise. And yeah, playing for them is a massive honour. And I was actually talking to Tony this afternoon. I was just saying how like I appreciate him as a coach, because he was the one that actually gave me hope again. And after everyone doubting me and obviously giving me a second chance to be back here and be like being in a professional space, is I'll always do this jersey with so much pride, and I'll always do the honourable things and do those 1%ers. And sometimes that's why I'm always injured, because I'm busting myself to make sure, like, you know, we can get a dub or we can get a change of momentum. So definitely been a tough trot for me, like being here in the Sharks, but like love every second of it and love the space and love this club to bits. So yeah.
What was the situation where they told you wouldn't play again? Is that did they just get it wrong, or did they doubt you, or should you not be playing? Like what's the deal there? With
the 2 back surgeries, I had 3 bulging discs that were compressing my spinal cord to the point where I just couldn't walk anymore. You couldn't walk? Yeah. So my partner had to carry me, you know, into the actual hospital to go get an MRI, because I couldn't walk on my own. And it was real hard, because for the first 8 weeks I was practically bedridden. Yeah, couldn't walk to the bathroom and back without assistance. Couldn't really like bath myself or anything like that. So I had to really learn back the basics of like walking again, running again, you know, being tackled and tackling. Probably took a good 1.5 years before I actually started to feel so-called normal. But my day-to-day life, like I've got like, you know, consistent, you know, nerve pains and stuff like that because of the back surgery. That's just because of the complications on that surgery. It's a risky surgery, but had to be done. Crazy situation, because like I can't feel my front of my shins and my feet and stuff, so people can tickle my feet and I won't even know, or step on.
Hell no! Don't do that to me.
Yeah, nah. People will step on my feet and I won't know. I'll have bruises all on my foot and stuff, and I'm like, where did that come from? But yeah,
that's just mind blowing. On behalf of all the Sharks fans, we thank you, because like, what a courageous thing that you're doing week in, week out.
Funny story, and I do want to ask you about the first ever game we played here and on this beautiful field behind us. In that game, our first ever game, Rhi was on the field and she broke was it your thumb, your wrist, something? She looked at me and I was like, gave her a mouthful about getting back in the line and making tackles. So, it's my job, and I didn't know, and I have apologised since multiple times. But what was that like? Because obviously, like, it's so hard to put into words what it was like running out here and in a moment where you knew it was going to be history. Like, a lot of the times, usually you don't know you're being a massive part of history until it's over and you look back and you go, oh, wow. But, like, we knew this is going to be the first ever team. Like, we're the first ones to pull on this jersey. Our names are going to be up on this wall here. Like, we knew all of those things. What was it like running out there? And then, obviously, what was it like then missing the rest of that season?
I remember when we got our jersey, we did our, like, little individual jersey presentation with the boys, and we did the opposite numbers and they gave us their jerseys and stuff. And I had Jack Williams. And when he gave him the jersey, he was like, oh, rip in, big dog. And I was like, you don't even know me for a bar of soap. Like,
so lovely.
Yeah, and he was like, rip in, big dog. And I was like, righto, will do. And then when I stepped on the field, it was just like seeing the crowd like get around us. Like, they've never, you know, like our Harvey Normans, we never really had much of a crowd. And then next minute, like NRLW, we had this huge crowd and they were like screaming for us. Like that was unreal. It definitely overtakes like, you know, any of the sevens, like memories that I have of singing the national anthem and all that type of stuff, because like all the younger generations that were sitting on the sideline like screaming our names, they didn't even know us, and next minute they're screaming our names and were so excited for us. And obviously first carry when I came on, I ran at Samama Taufa and palmed her and broke my wrist.
She's the wrong person.
Yeah,
bro.
I don't even know why. I just thought, yeah, I'm big dog, so I may as well go for a big dog. Ran and then palmed, and I played 26 minutes with a broken wrist. And yeah, it was that when we were in the half time, I said to the doctor, I said, can you look at my wrist? And she looked at it and she was like, is that sore? And I was like, yeah, don't touch that again because I'll probably punch you if you do. And then Tony came over and he's like, you right, mate? I was like, yeah, I'm sweet. Just strap her up. And then, yeah, got out in the second half, and then my hand just blew up like a balloon. And good old Crossy was running out telling me to hurry up and get back in the line. And then you were spraying me, get back in the line. And then I was looked down at my hand and my hand was purple, and I was like, turned around to Crossy and I said, I need to get off. And he's looked down at my hand and he goes, yeah, you do.
This is good old Ryan Cross. He is the best.
Yeah, and then so I ran off and then had the surgery, had a reconstruction of my scaphoid because it was completely broken and busted, so couldn't play the rest of the season. So yeah, that was tough sitting on the sideline, but you know, I was on a 1-year contract, so I just worked hard on the game and studied it, and yeah, just learning obviously my position. I was playing prop then, but I wanted to be an edge-back rower, so I was like learning the edge-back row and studying that. I had like 2 people that I would watch, attack and a defence edge-back rower, and so my attack edge-back rower was Angus Crichton and my defence was Liam Martin. They were the 2 edge-back rowers that I would literally like study on in those areas, and I just love the way Liam competes in like a kick, like the kick pressure and kick chase. Like I was always admired that, and then the way Angus Crichton runs those hard lines, I was like, nah, this is what I need to bring to my game, because I'm not flashy, I can't step in and like burn people sometimes. So yeah, just running hard and being that bulldozer is what I love to do.
I don't know about that, Ree, because you have played in the centres as well.
Yeah, you're versatile.
People like often hate being changed positions and stuff, and we had China on the show as well, and she's played every position. Ree, what's it like? Like, do you like that about, you know, being versatile, or would you rather just stay at edge back row? Do you like the middle more?
No, I feel like it just makes you appreciate other people's roles too in the team. Like centre, you would think, you know, you're 2 men out from the sideline, it's not a hard job, and it actually is so much harder. You think that you've got time, but you don't. Before you know it, next minute the ball is on your outside of your shoulder and you've got to make the tackle, or you've got to make a decision whether you're hitting the fullback or the lead. So it's sort of like a hard role, but it's very similar to the edge back row. So it was just 2 men out. And so for me, going into the middle as well, like I just run hard, so it doesn't bother me as much. Being that kick chase, because sometimes the edge back row is sprint, and then, you know, we've got to be that next high up. So you might be gassed, and then next minute you've got to sprint hard. And so, like, I full credit to the mids, because it is hard, because a lot of our strength does go through the mids. Obviously, the edge back row is the connection between the mids and the edges. So you've got to obviously talk to your mids and then talk to your edges, and it's just a constant conversation. So I feel like it just makes you appreciate those roles, but they're very similar in those aspects as well.
We have the Quest Apartment Hotels question of the week for Rhiannon, and this one is from Emily. We got a few, but we chose Emily, and she simply wants to know who had the biggest influence on your career. Tough question, I know, but that's the question we have for you.
There's a few, but they had different types of impacts, obviously. So like Andrew Walker, I call him Unc. He's been a massive mentor through sport, just in general.
So what's the connection there?
So he grew up with my mum up in Bomaderry. And he's practically been my mentor throughout the whole junior pathways to now.
Could play.
Yeah.
Probably still can play.
Oh, he still does play.
Does he?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, he practically coaches and plays. Sits on the wing and tells everyone what to do, and then jumps in for the limelight pretty much. Nah, he's amazing. You know, he calls me Rhea. Yeah, when I said to him I'm thinking about making the switch to league, he told me, Rhea, just have a crack. So like I thought, righto, well, if he's telling me to do that, I'll do that. And obviously like my family, my partner, he's a massive league head. he was more than happy to sit there for hours and hours and teach me the ins and outs, take me to the oval and teach me wrestling and all that type of stuff. So yeah, very grateful for him. And then my best mate Mason, he's no longer with us, but he was massive. He sort of came down and, you know, told me some kind words when I was sort of, you know, not in the mood to go back to football. And yeah, he just pretty much told me that if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm making lemonade and I'm loving every second of it at the moment.
2 more things before we let you guys go to training. I want to ask you about Find Your Feet, which is a organisation that I love seeing on social media. I find it so inspiring. I'm always sharing their clips and everything. Tell us how you got connected with them and about Tommy, and just if people who don't know, maybe just give us a bit of a short history and what they do.
Yeah, so Tommy Herschel is a one-man show. It's a non-for-profit organisation. He's practically a travel man. Hey, he travels around Australia, and he's also gone overseas a couple of times now. And it's a workshop where Tommy sort of just gives you some questions, and it's not necessarily like talking as such. We're sitting in a class, like in a classroom or a circle or whatever. You're sitting on your chairs, and he'll just say, "Find your feet" if you're struggling with anxiety and stuff like that. And he's able to squeeze information out of you without even you speaking words. And like you look around the room and you think that you're struggling with anxiety, and next minute you turn around and you've got, you know, Jada, Tiana, you know, and all those girls that might be standing up, and you sort of just go, oh, okay, it's not just me. Yeah, he mainly focuses with men's mental health. He's branching more into that women's space as well. I connected him up with we'd run like a youth suicide prevention day, and so he becomes a facilitator for us, and we run workshops with men's business and women's business, so the boys can go and talk about men's mental health while the girls can talk about their stuff as well. And that's how I sort of like got more connected with him, was through Sharks from Nico, and then furthered our relationship more from that. But yeah, you can donate to Tommy to keep him travelling around, but yeah, he's doing amazing things, and now he's part of the League Ahead program now too, so he goes and does all the NRL and NRLW clubs workshops for the mental health stuff. So yeah,
like a conversation starter. So for a team, it's so important that like we get him early on in the year, and he's sort of, you know, if the team hasn't already broken the ice with each other, that's what he does. And, you know, just the ability to say, find your feet if you've been struggling the last week. And girls, it might be a handful of girls stand up, but all of a sudden the rest of the room knows that. So you're able to go, hey, Rhi, like I noticed today and I just wanted to let you know I'm here. And just something like that, and how that can change a life is so impactful. And yeah, the work he does is incredible, and he doesn't do it for a cent. Like I know he wants to deliver the programs for free and all of these things. And I know Aramex, you know, one of our sponsors, have donated a lot of money this year and stuff as well, so that he can continue to do that. And yeah, I think he loves the Sharkies.
Yeah, he does, and all of his little videos and stuff too. He's got 2 books now, and he's definitely getting more further into conversations that people are constantly having now. So yeah, I've seen like a couple of times some kids walking around with a Find Your Feet hat, and that was from our workshop that we did. I bought like 200 hats to donate money towards him because he wouldn't charge us for the workshop. So I said, well, I'll donate money by buying your hats. And all the kids walk around, so it's cool because a kid said they went to the shops and they asked what this Find Your Feet hat was and where did they get it from. And then, yeah, they start conversation there. So it's cool that he's getting some merch out and getting some books out and stuff like that, because he's just getting around.
The work he's doing in schools as well is, from what I can tell, is unbelievable. Like, it's literally life-changing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's been like kids that we didn't know that were struggling in a couple of our workshops that we'd done, and then they actually ended up Tommy just said, oh, this kid's might need some more help at school. And yeah, we sat down with the kid and got him all the help that he needs, and now he's flourishing at school because he was really struggling. He had a lot of disengagement and just in the classroom, not necessarily not attending school, but just in class. And now he's flourishing. He's getting good marks, and it was just all because he was stressing that he wasn't smart enough, and like just that type of stuff that you wouldn't think that would affect too much. But yeah, he just somehow he can squeeze it out of him. It's crazy.
He'll tell you about stories, where, kids say, this has saved my life and things like that. But I can't help but sit there and think how many that he doesn't know that he saved, and how many kids in that room who have had an impact on the kids sitting next to them, even though they didn't say something. it's one of those things where you can't quite put into words. You've got to be sitting in the room to be able to feel the feelings, and there is not a dry eye when we do it. Everyone is in tears, and I think they generally give us about an hour for the workshop. We usually go for like 2.5 and we still don't want to leave. So that just says how comfortable you get in that space. And, you know, for a lot of people, that's a taboo topic. No one wants to talk about their mental health and all of that sort of thing. And everyone's got it. Everyone's got mental health. It's just, you know, how you deal with things and those sorts of things. So to be able to get rid of the stigma, and Rhea, you've been a huge part of that in our space, in the women's space, but to be able to get rid of that and for people to be able to walk in and be themselves and go, hey, I'm actually struggling today. I need a bit of help. Like, that just creates a culture that we want to have here. So thank you for organising all you do in our space. And big shout out to Tommy. He's the man.
Last note, which we haven't prepped Rhiannon on, but I'm sure she'll have a great answer because there's no wrong answer. We're going to finish with a bit of lighthearted but important information. We want to know about your musical tastes. So it could be a song, an artist, a band, a genre. There's no wrong answer, okay? I'm a Springsteen guy. She's an MC. I'm a guy. And Jason Derulo. And I'm sure a bunch of other people. I don't want to just limit you there. But we're here to ask Rhiannon, what do you like? Whether it's game day, whether it's making dinner at home, give us something.
It's actually crazy, hey, because I actually contain my music when I'm here. You guys don't hear it when I'm in the car, but when I'm driving, I actually listen to Metallica.
Yes.
Yes. Motorhead.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So my dad's favourite song is Ace of Spades.
So this is why I'm excited, right? I'm not really a metalhead. For years, I've been coming here and talking to the guys.
Yeah. What's
your favourite? And we get lots of answers. There's no wrong answer. And then a couple of years ago, we had a listener write to me and say, is any one of them a metalhead? And I'm like, there's got to be one. There's always one. I mean, I've asked all the guys for probably the last 3 years. We thought maybe Jack Williams. We thought maybe Cam McInnes. We thought all these guys, we stereotyped who it might be. Maybe Toby went, I like Enter Sandman or something. But you're the one.
I actually went to Metallica concert in November last year, and I was in the mosh pit. With my mum, we were headbanging.
Okay.
Your mum?
Yeah, mum. So Metallica is a pretty cool band. They talk a lot about mental health, men's mental health. And so my uncle, Uncle Boone, he committed suicide, but he was a mad Metallica supporter. Mum's got a tattoo and it's A Memory Remains, and that's one of Metallica's songs. And so, it was coming up to his 18 years Memorial Day, and Metallica were playing in Adelaide. So Mum we've never been to Adelaide. Metallica's playing. I tried to get tickets in Brisbane and Sydney. Obviously, they sold out. So then I was like, let's go to Adelaide. And it actually ended up rolling right near his Memorial Date. So it was really cool because Mum was drinking Jack D's, and that's his favourite drink.
What else are you going to drink in a Metallica concert?
So she was drinking them and loved every second of it. And Ace of Spades is my dad's favourite song.
Yeah.
And so I always listen to them and other heavy rock. Everyone knows that I listen to country music and stuff, and I always put country music on when people get in the car with me.
Don't be shy, bro.
So you're a closet metalhead.
No,
it's in the closet.
No, it's
out.
It's out when I'm in the car by myself.
Well, I think that's still in the closet.
That's the closet.
No. When I'm in the car with my mum or with my dad, I'll play it. Jacinta Carter is another metalhead.
Is she?
Yeah, she loves Metallica. So a couple of times when we've driven into training, we've been blasting a Metallica and we're headbanging as we're coming in, and people have given us a couple of side eyes.
Awesome.
There's a few people that know that I like to listen to heavy music.
Well,
obviously now everyone knows. My playlist before I play.
I'm making an announcement in team media. I'm making the announcement.
Well, a couple of times I've played it in the gym and someone's gone, whose music's this? And I was
it was probably me.
I was like,
This has been such a good episode. We found out about your life, about the charitable things you both do, journey to get to the Sharks. You can't feel your feet, but you found your feet, excuse the pun, and you're a metalhead.
Yep.
Amazing.
How good. You learn something new every day.
All right, Jada. We're going to wrap this episode. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks to Quest Apartment Hotels for their support. This is how we play.
Thanks for coming on, Riri.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Up, up.
Up, up.
This is how we play. The Cronulla Sharks NRLW podcast, brought to you by Quest Apartment Hotels.